After getting out of $166,000 of non-mortgage debt, here are 5 different side hustles that I did in order to move forward into our debt-free journey while being a husband and having a full-time career. Hi, my name is Jason Romero, and my wife and I got out of $166,000 of non-mortgage debt. And so, knowing that we had that much to get out of, it was definitely essential for us to look into side hustles. Working a 9 to 5 job was very difficult, and knowing that I needed to go above and beyond was a challenge. So, side hustling definitely helped, but it was a lot of work. In this video, I share the side hustles that I did in order to move into a debt free lifestyle, and it was a challenge having that 9 to 5. First side hustle that I did was working for Uber and Lyft. At the time, my wife was going to school, and so at night I would just flip on my Uber and Lyft app and I would try to get as many rides as I could. This was incredibly flexible, which helped with our schedule. And at the time, we lived in a bigger city, so it was way more profitable than it would have been living more outside of a city location. The city that we lived in had multiple colleges and more of a nighttime, nightlife atmosphere in the downtown area. And so that definitely gave me a lot more rides throughout the night on certain nights that I planned ahead of time. The challenges with Uber and Lyft were that I didn't know where I would end up at the end of the night. So I could be in one location and then multiple different spots would take me to hours away from home. So that was definitely a challenge. Another challenge was that there was some downtime to it, depending on the night. And so this was frustrating because I would just be sitting in a car for an hour before I got another ride. There were times when I focused on going down to LA or San Diego and just trying to get rides back to back. And this was very helpful. However, it did make for having to schedule ahead of time and making sure that we were on the same page, and knowing that I would go all the way to LA to just try to find rides. So that was definitely a challenge. During this time, my car took a toll, and so that was definitely another negative factor. But we were determined, and so we knew that this was going to be something that we could do for a short period of time. I was able to meet some really cool people and talk to random strangers that just needed a ride, and that was really fun. Got to listen to some music and listen to podcasts as well throughout this time, so that was definitely a plus. But I definitely thought that it was a cool experience at the time. I didn't have a hybrid vehicle or electric vehicle. It was all gas. So this was definitely a factor. And I knew that I couldn't do this long term, that it was just for a short term gain. Another side hustle that we did was working at Papa John's. My wife and I worked at Papa John's, and this was a experience. For me, it was very different than her experience, but she was a cashier making pizzas, and I was a pizza delivery driver, but also making pizzas. This was around 2020, 2021, and so it was hot and we had to wear masks, and so it just made for a very uncomfortable time working there. But it was actually pretty fun for me. She has some pretty funny stories, but we worked at Papa John's, and having the W-2 employment and tips on top of that was great. So it was definitely worthwhile being there. And I had a great experience driving and meeting different people and getting paid for it. So it was definitely helpful being able to do this side hustle. This was my most profitable side hustle because it was not just a scheduled time that I had to work, but also the tips on top of that made it more profitable. Downside to driving for Papa John's was having just to be on a schedule that I couldn't help. And so that was frustrating sometimes when I had to go into work or, be at a certain time after work. And so that was difficult for us, but we knew that it was just a short term. So we were just willing to move forward and just get it done for this short period of time. Third thing was work at a warehouse. Now, this helped me because I was able to go in super early and get out at a reasonable time. And so this definitely helped with moving the needle forward in our financial journey. I never worked in a warehouse before, so it was a great experience to meet different people and just to be able to work hard for a company. And it was a great learning experience. Fourth side hustle was being a freelance web designer. During the time that we were getting out of debt, I did go into a UI UX boot camp, and this helped me to get to know the field of web design. At the time, it wasn't my most profitable side hustle because I was new to the field and I didn't have a really good portfolio and skill set in web design. But I was able to, figure out what this field was about and also start my portfolio in this field. So it was helpful. I did land a client. I did get some money doing this type of work, but it was definitely not profitable in the time period that we were side hustling. It's not to say that web design is not profitable. Just I was new to the field, and it was easier for me to go to Papa John's and work, a shift and get paid for it than to try to develop and try to gain a client as quickly as possible. So I felt like working for a business like Papa John's would give me my return quicker than it was building a side hustle that could potentially turn into a career. So my focus was how fast can I get out of debt? And so working at Papa John's was definitely the answer at that moment. Fifth side hustle was being a adjunct professor at a university nearby. I utilized my skill set in school psychology in order to put myself out there and land a job as an adjunct professor. Now, I had been doing this now, I had been a school psychologist for X amount of years at this point. So I knew the field. It was something I was comfortable. And so I found a teaching position and I went for it. And thankfully, I landed two courses that I was able to teach, and it was a great opportunity for me to strengthen my skills in school psychology. But at the same time, I was able to push the needle forward in our debt-free journey. Question of the day. So knowing that there's multiple side hustles that you can do during this time, what do you need to do today in order to move forward into financial freedom? Thank you for watching this video. If you gained some insights, please like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.